Good morning. Doing a little roof work this morning. My sister Pam and her husband Glenn, they've developed a little bit of a leak right in here in this transition. Not sure exactly why. I know they did have some leaves piled up in that area. Had some leaves piled in the in this transition from the porch roof to the main roof. So I'm gonna start pulling off a little bit of shingles, and let's see what we can find out. I'm not sure how far we got to go. I know I'm gonna have to pull some right in this area. I'm gonna have to pull right through the transition. Got a couple of somewhat soft spots in the plywood in here. Here you can see a pretty good soft spot. Here, good news is that's not leaking. I went up inside the attic and I couldn't see any leak on the main roof. Not sure it hadn't leaked in the onto the porch roof, but I haven't seen it on the main roof. So we're gonna dig in and see what we find. Alrighty. Alright. I've got it mostly torn apart, but here's what I've come up with so far. The rot here on the right side was pretty bad on the OSB. Got some rot on the tips of the rafters, so definitely gonna have to replace probably I think 64 inches of the OSB, and probably going to scab onto the ends of these rotted rafters. At least that's my plan at the moment, unless it works out that I can't do that. Bigger issue is you have some rot here on your main roof structure, and somehow I've got to get underneath the porch roof system to get there. You got that on both edges. I'm not sure that you have that in the middle at this point because you got pretty good shingles in there, and just looking at it from inside the house, inside the attic, it didn't appear so. But if you look here, yeah, it's spongy all in here, a little bit spongy there. It's a little more solid, but you got some rot in there too. So what it appears, I'm gonna have to replace plywood underneath from about here over to about here, which is 4 foot. So maybe I can get a 4-foot sheet and replace that. Have to creatively get the weight off of the roof on this edge to be able to slide the plywood underneath. So I'll be trying to figure that out tomorrow. Plus I got to figure out how to trim out that plywood too. So be an interesting day tomorrow. Let's see how it goes. Thanks. All right, we are into day 2 of the roof rebuild. I have the first, I think it's 64 inches of plywood pulled off the top. As you can see, the rafters are in the middle are in pretty good shape. These ones on the edge, not so much. What I think I can do, because these rafters are supported here and underneath with some knee boards, not a lot of weight holding back here, so I think I'd be safe scabbing on a little bit to the end, cut off all the bad, and get that replaced. As far as this worst side where it was leaking, that whole segment right in here was pretty much rotted out. As far as the plywood, over in there along the edge it was rotted out, and I just carried it to the next rafter to be able to join the new plywood. So I am having to scab on a little bit of rafter here for the joist. I mean for the porch roof. In fact, that's what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to probably have to do something similar, although maybe not quite as extensive, in here on this side. But I'm going to go ahead and work on the one side first, and before I start tackling the other side. Making a little bit of progress. I'm hoping to at least get this the joists in here, and get the plywood on the roof deck here. So before I leave today, that is my plan. We'll see how it goes. Well, end of day one. I've now got the one sheet of plywood in that was over the spot that was leaking, right here on the eaves of the house. So I guess let's drop on some rafters and we'll move on to the next project tomorrow. Alright, I have got the main roof repaired, got the sheetrock in, started laying down some of the roofing paper. I've cut off all of the bad rafters. I'm going to strap onto them. I'll show you a picture here in a minute when I get those done. This side wasn't as bad as the left side. Only had to replace a small section of that, 22 inches. There's always more you could do, but I think this is enough. I think you get it dry in here, and any further deterioration will stop. But the big thing is you got to get it dry and get out all the bad stuff. So I think I've gotten out all the bad stuff, and now it's just putting it back together. All right, thank you. All right, it's the end of day 3. I'm making some headway. I've got the main roof repaired on both sides. I've started scabbing the ends onto the rafters that were bad. I'm running whole rafters from the edge of the plywood all the way in. On some of the longer ones, and these short ones I'm kind of scabbing them with just a smaller amount. Like I said, these 4 didn't need it. Got these 2. So in the morning I'll finish that up, start laying my plywood, do some flashing, and we'll get it going. It's been a hot one. It's been in the 90s all 3 days I've been out here, so I've been soaking through my clothes every day. But it's I'm getting it figured out. Taking a little longer than I thought it would, but it's coming along. So we'll get her done. Well, got a major hurdle out of the way. We've got all the decking on the roof and the porch roof. Getting ready to lay down some roofing paper, and then we'll get started on shingles. In the home stretch now. Hopefully we can get it all done before we get any rain. Calling for a little bit this afternoon. Alright, I have the roofing paper on now. We at least at a point, if it started raining, we wouldn't have a leak. So that's a major hurdle. Glad to have that out of the way. I'm gonna go grab some lunch and we'll start throwing some shingles on. Well, it's Friday evening. I've not finished, but I got a good start on the shingles. Got it to a point where it shouldn't leak, even if it does come a shower. And I think it's a chance of rain tonight and tomorrow, and I'm hoping it'll give me time to get it done. I've got both the sides done and started up on the main part of the porch roof. Took me so long, was trying to get these little things tied in. That's a little harder than just laying them straight out. I was moving along pretty good when I was laying in here. So I'll I think maybe 2 hours and I could knock the rest out. Maybe not that long, but I guess we'll see. Well, as anticipated, we did get a shower this morning. Does not appear that we had any leaks, so I guess we'll let it dry out a little bit and we'll start laying some shingles. All right, after drying off the roofing paper with a towel to help things along, I was able to start moving forward, and as you can see, I have completed. That is a wonderful thing. I am glad to have that one behind me. I'm definitely not a roofer. Never really claimed to be. This was definitely something that was a learning experience. I didn't really think I was going to do it, and then I don't know, the Lord kind of spoke to me and said, you need to do that. So not sure why, but I didn't question, I just did it. Called Pam up and she hired me to do her roof. So it's been an experience. I don't plan to continue to roof, but at least I know that I can if I have to. All right, well, thank you.